Superheroes. Armchair Superheroes make out. Oh no! I blew it. All right, we're good. I blew the ending, but that's okay. What's up, guys? It's the Armchair Superheroes. We're back, episode 2, talking about episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously live on Locker Room, as you heard, with me screwing up the intro there. It is your boy Pat Lane, of course, with Josh Allen, who Josh is holding on by he's currently in the movie Twister right now.
Yeah, Thunder Force.
Listen, all you need to do, man, right? Make sure you get a belt with you and go into the shed, right? And tie it to one of those. I mean, those pipes must go down super far, right? Just tie it to a pipe, you'll be good to go. You know what I mean?
I mean, it worked in a movie, so it's got to work, right? I mean, as long as Dorothy gets launched into the tornado, I think we're good.
See, we're good. See, we're all set.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yes. So anyway, so we're talking about episode 5 today, of course. And first impressions, Josh, just give me overall. What were your thoughts? Did you enjoy it first of all? And then we'll kind of start at the beginning, maybe, right?
Yeah, I mean, and what a way to start. What a way to start the episode. Pretty much it picked up right where we left off on the prior episode with the new Captain America, or soon-to-be non-new Captain America, running away from the scene of the crime. Breaking down in an abandoned warehouse, it looks like. And who would you know that would show up a few minutes later? Bucky and Falcon. And the ensuing confrontation was an amazing way to start any episode of any TV show that I've seen in a really long time.
It was so good. I loved the fight scene with them. I thought it was, he's like down and Lamar's playing in his head, right? He's playing over what he said to him, and he's like, time to go to work. And I'm like, oh God, dude. And then that fight scene was legit though, dude. This is the thing, is that I think you saw him fully break. I mean, he's completely broken. He was going to kill Falcon, bro. He was going to kill Falcon.
And that's the biggest thing that I took from that was, they were trying to subdue him and take the shield. He was trying to kill both of them. He was trying to kill either one of them if he got the opportunity, and he went for the kill shot to both of them multiple times. And if it wasn't for Falcon and Bucky working together as a team, he would have succeeded.
100%. And that's, dude, he rips Falcon's wings off. So he goes for it, like you said. And that's one of those things where it's like, we've seen Avengers go at it, right, in Civil War and things like that, but they've always kind of pulled their punches a little bit. They've never gone for that kill shot. For this guy to do that was like, whoa, this guy is serious. And listen, I do kind of feel bad for him a little bit, because the thing is that he was really set up to fail. He could not have been successful in this role. He couldn't be successful in this role, right? And so for me personally, when I see something like that, I look at it and say, he's trying to do the right thing. I think he really thought that he was trying to do the right thing. But again, and this is what I talked about last time, was that he was so obsessed with the serum. That's all he talked about. The serum. That's all he talked about, right? Was like, I'm not good enough, right? And he just thought, like, in order to be good enough, I need to have the serum. And that's obviously not the case. And we know that that's not the case through, multiple examples in the MCU and beyond. But to me, that was kind of the big thing, is that he's still. And so we're going to get into the complicated history of the U.S. agent a little bit, and kind of what that character I think is going to mean. But I don't know if he's 100% a bad guy still.
See, I think it's it's loaded. On the surface, he looks like he could be the bad guy. I wouldn't call him an anti-hero at this point. Because I don't even know if his intentions are good. We talked about the mental health aspect of it last week, about how much it was for him to bear, and how much, he wanted to live up. And we saw that to an extent in the ensuing scene when he's being not court-martialed, extradited, maybe. What would you say
No,
there?
I
When he
think
was,
I think court-martialed really kind of is the way to go. And you know what? So Max, what a great question, Max. We're going to talk about who the bad guy is in a minute, but I'm going to let you finish your thought. But finish your thought, Josh, and I want to talk about who really the bad guy is.
yeah, we saw the frustration of it come to a head in the courtroom scene where he was being less than honorably discharged, um, and kind of went off. You saying, you guys made me. I've done everything for you. I did every order, and I am Captain America. And the senator goes, "Not anymore. You're not." Um, and I thought that was a point for him where and we'll see later, obviously, once we get into it, where I don't think he's going to take no for an answer. I think that he thinks that, he's taken the serum and that he had the best intentions, and that if it were a situation where people didn't have their phones, he would have been, lauded and spoken of as a hero behind the scenes. But because the phones are out, it's kind of, it's one of these things where, your arms are kind of twisted, and as a merit, what are you going to do? You probably applaud the decision, but at the same time, you got to take a stance against it, and we kind of see that and hear that from someone who pops up. And I'll pass it to you, Pat.
Well, and so I want to get into that. Okay, we can get into Julia Louis right now if you want, right? I mean, so she's going to be in there. She's going to be in Black Widow, right? So theoretically, in the MCU, we would have already seen her, right? So like she pulls up a little cameo, and everyone's like, "Oh my god! Like, who is she going to be, right? What's she doing? Who is she working for? What does she want, right? In this situation, she obviously hands his wife like a blank card, right? So it's like no one really knows what's going on with her. So that's interesting, kind of side part. But I do want to get into what Max was talking about Spider-Man 3. That's just rude. But but I will say, I know right now it's a little hard to see who the bad guy is. To me personally, I think the bad guy here in this case is the GRC. I think that they are the bad guy. And there's a few reasons for that. Okay. First of all, the guy that was leading the, less than honorable discharge trial, it wasn't even really a trial. It was just like, here, this is what's happening to you, John. We don't need to see your side of the story because we watched the video, right? So that guy is leading the GRC, saying people are going to believe whatever we tell them. We don't have to, ask for anything, give an explanation, do anything. We don't need any of that. And so I think that they are the bad guy in this situation. And, I want to get into Carly a little bit too, but I just feel like people are approaching it the wrong way, right? And this is kind of where it's like, Cap always approached things from a certain vantage point, right? Civil War happened because Winter Soldier, and then Civil War happened because, no, this is what's right. I don't care what the rules are. What's right is this, and that's what I'm going to do. And you can't stop me from doing that, And so I'm not signing the Sokovia Accords. I am going to help Bucky because this is the way it has to be. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but it is what it is, And so it's one of those things where you just say, Sam now and Bucky are doing the same thing, where they're looking at it saying, this needs to be handled a certain way, right? We need to deal with this a certain way. And I think that that's important. I do think that the GRC is going to be a huge factor in this. And here's the thing, right? Carly, I think now brief scene with Carly, but an important scene because at the end she leaves the toy behind, right? The stuffed animal behind. And I think that that's very symbolic of her saying, I'm done playing games. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm going to kill you. Basically, we're going to kill these people. We're going above and beyond to where we were before. Now, she's already killed some people already, right? Multiple people, including Lamar, right? And so she's already done that. But I think for her, it was that kind of this is it. And she even said, they're going to continue to do this until we make them stop. And I will say, I think that the ending, and I mean, I'm kind of predicting the ending here, but I think the ending is basically going to be that Sam is going to stop her, and then the GRC is going to be like, "Oh, thank you so much," and he's going to be like, "Bro, screw you guys! Like, you're really the ones that are in the wrong here, and we need to fix what's going on here with you guys." And so, basically, like, she was doing the right thing, she was going about the wrong way, which he says to her in episode 4.
Yeah. And I agree with that too. And I think I'm not sure if it's just the GRC though. I still think there might be like the power broker. Who could that be? Do we really think it's the senator? Do we think it's the United States government? Because why wouldn't they just kind of given that serum to um, what's his Cap in the first place? Um, there's there's so much to unpack in this episode too. Um, because there's little things and little tidbits along the way as well. And just going back further too, when Sam leaves to the wings, we know that he's becoming Captain America, and doesn't in the comics, I forget his name. Doesn't he take up the role as Falcon?
He does. Yes, he does. Yeah, that's Torres, right? Is his last name?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to call him Tate for some reason, but I knew that was wrong. Torres. So I think that was a cool little thing that we had there. We had obviously Julia Louis-Dreyfus and what her role might be in the MCU. We'll get a peek of that at Black Widow, like you said, but what it will be going forward. And then also Sharon as well. She was on the phone with a French guy, and then all of a sudden the French guy shows up with Carly. What was that about? Is she tied in with the GRC? Is she tied in with this rebellion with the Flag Smashers? Is she playing both sides here? Because there's a lot more that we don't know about her that she's leading on to as well.
100%.
Unpack in one episode. Remaining.
And that's not even talking about the race relations, which they really dive into, which I loved. That they didn't shy away from that. I thought that was great. But the Sharon thing is interesting because a lot of people think that she is the power broker. I kind of think that she isn't, but I think it's possible that she could be. But what's fascinating is that she has this kind of whole plan going on. There's something going on, right? She's up to something. She hires Batroc. She's like you said, she hires him, right? Now he's the guy. For those of you that don't remember, you probably should because George St. Pierre from the UFC, but he's the guy from the beginning of Winter Soldier on the ship that Cap fights on the ship. So he's that guy from that movie 7 years ago. Now,
what's his name?
A Batroc or Batro or something like that. Yeah. George Patro, I think it's Batroc. But anyways, she gets him out of the Algerian prison, and then she says, "I'm going to pay you more this time," which was strange because it's like, well, that means they've worked before in the past. Right? Were they working together then? Like there's this wild theory, dude, that Sharon, I mean, like this one's way out there, that Sharon was a hypnotized agent for Hydra even during Winter Soldier, and that she was always kind of working backdoor for Hydra. I don't know if that's legit or not, but there are parts of it where you're kind of like, well, why is she working with him? Why is she helping the Flag Smashers? Why was there someone there to pick her up right after that fight? Like there were just some weird things that you're like, we don't really know what she's up to. So do I think she's a power broker? No, I hope not, because it just seems too obvious that she'd be the power broker, right? So I hope that what's clear though is that she's certainly working for the power broker. The question is she actively on the power broker side, or is she kind of, like you said, playing both sides of the fence and trying to take down the power broker? And part of doing that is hiring Batroc to come in and help the Flag Smashers, and then the Flag Smashers can in turn kind of destroy the power broker. So it's really that part of it I thought was interesting, because like you said, there's so many questions. Like we don't know what she's going to be,
Exactly, and we don't know, and that's the other thing too, is we don't know what they're really setting up with Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Winter Soldier.